Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am here with fabulous Sarah from Artichoke Girls, and I've done events with Sarah. I've done Facebook Lives. I've done pre-records. I've done so many things with you, Sarah, and you've got a whole bunch of questions from your Artichoke Girls, which is a Facebook group, and I'm part of that Facebook group. I can't get that word up. Facebook group, and what a wonderful community you have. I mean, fantastic.
We are really, really lucky. They're all actually customers of ours. And it's just a great community that we started during the lockdown. And we're really, really lucky to be supporting them and actually being able to reach out to people like you to talk about how to wear your makeup, or Michaela to help us with our skincare, or people like Catherine and Ness giving us great ideas of where people who don't live in the area can stay. It all just contributes to a nice sort of virtual friendship group is the only way I can describe it.
It is a virtual friendship group. And I had the honor of meeting quite a few of those ladies as well. So I feel even doubly blessed by that. So yeah, fantastic. So I'm going to let you fire away. This is not, we haven't rehearsed these. So if I fumble a little bit, then you'll know.
Right. So these are questions. We put a request out for questions a few days ago when we realized we were going to do this Q&A. There might be a lot of questions, Ariane, so be prepared to do more than one. We might have to do 2 Q&As. Okay. I'm going to fire away and you tell me when I've asked enough questions. I have to wipe anything off.
Okay, go ahead.
So the first one is actually a fairly generic question, and it's, should we use fake tan on our faces? And if the answer is yes, do you have any recommendations?
Okay, I am not a fan of fake tan on my face. I will tell you the exact reason why. Because when we put it on our body, we don't put all of the serums, oils, all of those kind of products on our face. When we put those products on our face, a lot of them, especially AHAs, dissolve the fake tan or the false tan and make it go patchy. And then it is a hard job to get your skin to look even. So I would say no to putting false tan on your face. I know that there's some great brands out there that they've got those little drops and everything like that. But if you're someone that uses a lot of AHAs or enzymes and things like that, you're going to have a patchy looking face. I would suggest using either a bronzer over your regular foundation, or you can go for a slightly darker foundation. So if you know the color that you go here on the body with your faux tan, then you choose a color that is similar to, for your face, and then the two will match up always.
Oh, okay. Now that number one, I'm filled with huge relief because I am a patchy woman on my body. My husband always says that I look as though I've been sunbathing through a fence. My fake tan is so uneven. But that actually leads us quite neatly on to another question, Ariane, and that is, how many color foundations should you have and when should you wear them? Now, I know personally that I look a bit orange in April because I'm still wearing basically my medium summer foundation, which seems to last all the way through the winter till about March or April, and then all of a sudden I put my makeup on and I'm orange.
Okay, that's interesting, because I know that. Okay, so I have two that I have two. I have a lighter one, and then I have a slightly darker one because I like to faux tan my body. I love being out in the sunlight and everything. I don't like to lay and bake. I get bored very quickly. I can lay there for maybe 10, 15 minutes and then done. I have to do something else. So for me, I love a faux tan. One of my favorite faux tans is Bondi Beach, which is, they come in all sorts of different types, but I love the Bondi Beach ones. And I have no affiliation with them at all. So it's just me personally liking them. And so I would have two foundation colors, one lighter one and one darker one, so that in the winter time, you're the lighter one. You come up to going into spring and you might be being out, or you've gone away for a winter holiday, and then you bring your darker one in and you can mix them together. And when you're in that in between, so I'm going to do a video on transition time, because come end of September, we are into transition time, where we know we're wearing so many layers of clothing, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere. We are not going to really need to bronze or faux tan our bodies. We're going to go, yeah, you know, because we're going to be wearing tights and trousers or longer skirts or whatever, boots and everything. It's not
especially with the thing with not being able to afford our central heating this year.
We're going to be wearing a lot of layers, like tons of layers, exactly. We're going to be layers and layers. So yeah, so we're not going to be faux tanning in the winter months, most likely, unless we're going away somewhere, and then we'll get a little bit of sunshine. But so come around end of September to probably November, beginning or mid-November, there's like that sort of 6 to 8 week space. And in that 6 to 8 week space, you're going through this gradual lightening process. And then you go on to your lighter foundation, and then you get to, say, around March time, and it's sunny, you're maybe out gardening, or you go away for a holiday, or it's Easter break or something like that, and then you use your darker one, and you go through the darker one until you get to that. And that transition time is probably from April till about June. So again, about 6 to 8 weeks transition time, and then you would be your darker foundation. So it's a that's the way I kind of see it as a cycle.
And is it one color difference?
I just do,
most people. So is it, what do you go one shade lighter and one shade darker?
Yeah, it's your, so whatever your base color is. So I am pale. So I would say that my base, we're talking about foundation sticks, okay, because that's the one I use most often. In the summer months, I up it a bit. Okay, so foundation stick, I am sand in the winter time, and I use the Flawless Finish in the summer because it's slightly lighter weight, and I use medium there. So I go from sand to medium. Light in the foundation stick is a teeny tiny bit too light for me. So I'm a sand. So so the next shade, that whatever the company does, whether it's my brand. So in the Flawless Finish, I would be a light and a medium, rather, because we don't have a sand color yet. I'm working on that, but so I would be a light and a medium, but I'm definitely the sand stick and the medium Flawless Finish, and it works really well. If I do a big faux tan and I find that the medium in the Flawless Finish is a little bit too pale, then I will take a little bit of bronzer on my face, because that will be fine.
Right, so that's a good way of taking our skin into high summer then, is rather than having yet another foundation.
Yeah, it's just too expensive, because it's too expensive. It's not practical either, because you're going to use that bronzer. You can use your bronzer on your eyes, your cheeks. You know, it's a multi-use product, so you want to get more usage out of your products, and that's how I feel about anything with that.
That's great. Thank you so much, Ariane. Now, is it possible to cover the flaws in your complexion but keep your freckles in the summer?
Yes, and this is a really great question, because I love women. I love women's skin. I hate it when someone who has got freckles wears that heavy, thick foundation to annihilate their freckles, because the skin doesn't look natural. It looks false. I'm not saying that you should be wearing, you know, if it really makes you feel uncomfortable with your freckles, and by all means, but you know, everyone, it looks at you, the people with freckles, a lot of people with freckles, they don't like their freckles, but everyone else looks at them and thinks, oh, you look so beautiful. It's kind of almost that you need to embrace that. And what you would do foundation wise is you go on the in-between color of the freckle and the skin, which is a tricky one. So that one is a little bit, this is an experiment. So I would go to a makeup counter and ask for little samples so that I could take it home and do it in my own privacy, so I can do it here, so I can just check to make sure it's not looking weird. Because if you use too light of a color on someone with freckles, the freckles and the skin looks really ashy, and you don't want that. The alternative is if you use something that is too dark, so it goes the color of the freckle, you have to bring it down here into your neck, and then where do you stop? Because your hands are going to be pale as well. So it is that kind of, so it's finding that in-betweeny color that evens everything out. Now you have a good way of doing it, because I know that you said that you, in the summer months, you do certain things with your foundation. So tell us that, because I love that you do that.
So in the summer, in the winter, I use your foundation stick because, as we've said before, the first time we ever met, you didn't realize I had rosacea because I was wearing your foundation stick. I'm a very good advert for it. But obviously in the summer, this is ridiculously heavy, and I do wear quite a lot of makeup in the summer, but I like to have a very natural makeup.
Yeah.
So what I tend to do is I tend to use your Ultimate Face Tint virtually all over, because it just sort of evens everything out more than anything.
And it's sheerer, more sheer.
Yeah, it's fabulous. I mean, it doesn't feel as if I'm wearing foundation, but it basically evens out my complexion. But I still, although I don't have very bad rosacea in the summer, I have broken blood vessels, and I get very red on the sides of my nose here, where my glasses are, and down here. So I just dab this on my really red bits and then blend it in, and then it just works. It's fab. That's
great. That's good. I love it. And that is really nice, because the Ultimate Face Tint, it gives you that sheer coverage, and it kind of softens. So your freckles are still coming through. Your skin is still glowing and natural, but it's not heavy.
No, it's a beautiful, beautiful product for anybody who hasn't tried it. And yeah, you obviously need to do a full video on freckles at some point, Ariane. We'll have to.
We're planning to do that, aren't we? Yes, that's going to be coming up.
Okay, so I'm just going to scroll through. I started. How to disguise a birthmark.
What kind of birthmark? Okay, if it is a birthmark that is a brown birthmark, okay, then you need to use, now really weird, because you're going to think that I'm really talking rubbish. Most people, when they have like that kind of pigmentation, so it can be like that, and it's usually a flat birthmark, it's a pigmentation-y kind of thing, you need to use a darker color. You don't use a light color. If you use a light color, and somebody asked me this on my Instagram, and I explained it to them as well. If you use a light color on a dark mark, it looks ash, it looks dirty, it looks grayish, and it does not cover it. It actually brings focus to that area, because nobody has gray skins or ashy colored skin. So it draws the eye right to where you don't want it to be drawn to. So you want to avoid that. So that's why I did my concealer palette with 3 shades. So I use the darker shade. Now, obviously it depends on what the person's skin tone is. If you're really pale, you would use something like a medium-y kind of color. If you're a little bit darker, then you would use the darker shade. But you need to use something that counterintuitively, that you're going to use something darker, not lighter. Now, if you've got a red birthmark, which I know that people have red birthmarks, or that kind of almost like those port wine ones, you want to grab you want to grab an orange concealer. Now, you may need to go to something like Dermacolor or somewhere like that. Now, the orange will counteract the blue purpliness of that birthmark, and it will make it go neutral. It will neutralize it, and then you can pat your foundation over the top, but you need to neutralize it. And the only thing that will neutralize that kind of purpley color is, or that bluey purpley color, is orange. And it has to be not a soft, pretty apricot-y kind of color. It has to be orange. I mean, like orange, maybe even more orange than this. Oh, no. And I even when I've taught makeup artists, and somebody has like those really, when you got those really blue dark circles. Yes. And I remember I said, okay, you need to use an orangey color. And they were using this really soft, pale, pastel-y, or coral shade. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I took the darkest, one of the darkest, brightest orange colors, and I whacked that on, and literally I went, and they went, oh my God, they've just disappeared. And I said, yeah, because it neutralizes it. Doing those light colors, you have to sometimes be a little bit bold and step in. So yeah.
Well, that's really, really great advice. Thank you. We've had quite a few questions that are sort of based around lipstick and longevity.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got how to look after your lipstick in hot weather. Mm-hmm. What is the secret to day-long, night-long lasting lipstick? So they're sort of a variation upon a theme, aren't they? Okay. Longevity using a lipstick.
Okay, so if you've got a lipstick and it is boiling hot, like we've had really hot here, it's been 40 degrees, which is, and we don't have air, most houses don't have air conditioning, so you're literally like in a sauna. You're hoping that you're going to get a cross breeze if you open every window in the house, but you know, sometimes that doesn't happen. So you need to put your lipsticks in the fridge, not the freezer, the fridge. Yeah. Yeah. And
yes. Yeah, I used, before I had the children, I worked for a shipping company and my sales area was the West Indies. All my girlfriends kept their makeup in the fridge. Yes, it's just come back.
Yeah, yeah. It is. And because, you know, a lot of the, you know, I grew up in Canada, we did not have boiling hot summers like this, but we do now. So I think with, you know, all the climate changing and everything that's going on, we're going to have to think about, you know, putting our lipsticks, nail varnish is also great in the fridge in the summer months because it keeps them from going gloopy and thick. Eye pencils, if you've got an eye pencil, I had the biggest disaster one time with an eye pencil. I was doing a photo shoot and in the UK, and I left my eye pencils sitting on the dashboard of the location truck while I whizzed out to powder the model and everything. And I left them there because we didn't need them. And I came back and they had all melted all over the dashboard.
Oh, no.
And that was it. They were finished and done. So even if you've got like those gel pencils, those soft gel pencils, which glide on beautifully and are long lasting, if they're kept anywhere warm or hot, they are going to melt. So you need to put those away as well. You need to put those into the fridge, but that's only when it's boiling outside. When it's just normal temperature, it's absolutely fine. Now, the question about that long lasting lipstick, that is a real tricky one because it has a lot to do with sometimes with your skin's pH and everything like that. The best ones to thing is you use a lip primer. So that is a lip primer is a great idea. Putting on a long-lasting lip pencil all over your lips, that is a great idea. Using a liquid lip product, liquid lips last longer than the other type of lipsticks. And I don't mean liquid lips as in a lip gloss. The liquid lips are much drier and they almost like seal onto your lips.
Oh, I know the ones you mean.
Yeah. So some of the companies have made them much more comfortable to use. So they're not going to feel like you're wanting to always lick your lips because that defeats the purpose. So those are the things that I would do if I was having to do something where it was long lasting. But with lipsticks, because we eat and drink, and I'm not, you know, it's the one thing, any food that is like an oily, so if you're eating a delicious salad, or if you're eating some fries or anything that you're eating that's got an oil base to it, it's going to even remove that long lasting lipstick. So if you think you're being great by eating a salad and your lipstick comes off, it's not the lipstick's fault, it's the salad dressing fault. So
I know Michaela has road tested your tip with using the lip liner as a base and then lipstick over the top at an event you did her makeup for.
Yeah.
And I can remember her saying that the lipstick lasted for the entire evening.
Well, that's brilliant. That is right. But it has to do is what, you know, if you're going to an event and you're not eating lots of like, and I'm not saying greasy food because it's not necessary, because a salad, you wouldn't think of it as a greasy food, or something that's got a gravy or a sauce because it's just sumptuous and delicious. You know, yum, yum, yum. That kind of thing will deteriorate any kind of lipstick, even those long lasting ones, even the ones that where you put them on, they go, look, I could rub it like this. Yeah, because you have no oil. If you put a little bit of olive oil on that and did that, it would come off like in an instant.
Well, I mean, makeup removers are oil-based, so that's quite sensible. It's quite logical, isn't it? I'm just looking down because I am scrolling through the questions. Now, we have had a question from Ellie, who's just started working here. She's absolutely gorgeous. She's 28 and she is going to get married in a couple of years' time. And she has asked for top tips on wedding day bridal makeup. But perhaps that's the subject for another video.
Well, I can tell you a quick tip because I do a lot of weddings and I love doing weddings. My top tip to anybody in the bridal party, and that's the mother of the bride, any bridesmaids, the mother of the groom as well, on the wedding day, do not put any moisturizer on your face. I know you're all going to be sitting there thinking, Ariane, you're insane. But the reason why I say no moisturizer just on that day, you can use a primer, you can use no serums, no moisturizers. I would use only thing I would use. I have used this one here, which again I have no affiliation with. This is a L'Oreal. This is Revitalift. I use this, and I use my hydrating foundation primer or my pore perfecting or my mattify, whatever one it is that's necessary for that skin type. But the reason why is because when we get anxious and stressed out, which everybody does at a wedding party, no matter whether you're the mother of the bridegroom or the bride, it is an anxious period because it's a big event. Okay. So then it releases chemicals through your skin, which deteriorate makeup. If you're having a moisturizer on, it exasperates that and makes it deteriorate even quicker. So you don't want that to happen. So just for that one day, no moisturizer. Do all the prep, the lead up for the months before, by all means, have your facials, do all that kind of stuff. And that goes for, you know, the mom of the bride, the mother of the groom as well. Absolutely fine, just not on that day.
That is such a great tip because I think it's something that none of us would ever consider. We'd be thinking we had to slap every lotion we possess on the day to look our best.
And it just makes your makeup slide off. The other thing is, if you're in a sunny climate, or if you're even here in the UK or anywhere that is sunny and you're worried about SPF, then what I would say, there are so many great SPFs that now you can put on after your makeup, which is actually better than doing the one before your makeup, because before your makeup, you really should be reapplying your SPF, if it's the ones before, a couple of times during the day. So I love a SPF that's in a powder form, and there's some really great ones around. Or now they even have an SPF that's a setting spray, so that you can spritz on your face, your SPF, and you can top that up throughout the day. And you are keeping that SPF level high, so you're not going to get burnt. Because a lady emailed me and said, how come I got burnt? I use an SPF, I use a high SPF, and I use a foundation that contains an SPF, and I was out all day and I got burnt. It's because they only last a finite period of time. With any SPFs, like when we're at the beach, we're constantly putting on that SPF. We don't constantly put on a foundation, and we don't constantly put on a face SPF. That's why I love the fact that so many companies now are doing the spray ones and the powder ones, and they're definitely worth the investment.
So they're both new on me. Do you have any recommendations?
I mean, I think Garnier do one, and then I think that his name is it Roth, Thomas Roth do one as well. There's a couple of ones that I like. And then there's a Coolio. Or is it Coolio or Coolia?
Garnier is a good one because they don't test on bunnies. They don't sell into China.
Yeah.
So Garnier,
I'm going to grab another one. Hold on.
It's a supermarket, cheap as chips brand, and they
I know.
sell it to China. So it's really good, you know, if you're concerned about the ethics of your product.
And there's this one here. This is another company. This is an American brand. I think this is an American brand. And this is a good one as well. So there's a lot of options, and let me just show you. So it's a light mist, if I can see. It's a light mist. It's not like You're not
No,
going to be.
that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's great. So
I found this on the web.
Oh.
for another Q&A at another day.
Yeah.
More questions?
Yep. Go ahead. Yep.
Okay, cool. Right. Let me just follow on through. Now, we've had a recommendation on the group for a decent mascara for a contact lenser. The last 5 mascaras I have purchased have all been blobby. I think they've taken something out of the formulas because I've never had this problem with mascaras before. Now, I do know a lot of ladies on the group have answered this question and they have recommended your mascara.
I saw that. I was really touched. Thank you. Thank you. I am very proud of my mascara because I do 1, 2, 3, 4 types of mascara. I do a waterproof mascara. I do a regular normal mascara. I do a navy blue mascara, and I've done now a vegan clean mascara. Now the vegan clean mascara sold out so quickly. It is an absolute brilliant product. It is fantastic, but it's sold out and we are struggling to get the component in. So it's driving me, the supply chain thing is driving me absolutely bonkers.
It's the same with everyone, my love, you know,
I
trying to get
know.
clothes. Because Shanghai was shut down for 6 weeks, even if you don't buy stuff from China, all the containers are in the wrong place again.
That's it. Oh my gosh. It just been, and it's the same with the grocery stores. I mean, anyway, exactly. I've got a friend that is in the construction business, and there's a delay on construction because they can't get this rivet. Little rivet. I'm like, oh my God, you know, that is, but it's just the way it is. Anyway, so those 4 mascaras are really, really lovely. They don't go clumpy. Now, what I will say to you is when you're using a mascara, let me grab, I don't want to use one that I'm going to be using here. Okay. When you're using a mascara, do not do this. You know, do not do this. I see so many people do that, and what it does is it forces air into here, into the tube, and it dries it out and it makes it go blobby. If you are thinking you're coming to the end of your mascara and it's getting a little bit dry and you're thinking, oh, I don't know how to fix that, get a mug, put boiling water from the kettle in, pop your mascara in, and it will help it, revive it for a few uses.
That is such a great tip. And would using a lash primer help? I know you've recently bought out a lash primer.
Yeah, I love our lash primer. It has been literally years in the making because I first discovered the lash primers back in 2004. And I love the premise of them because they make your lashes look fuller and thicker. And as you get older, that's what you lose. But I hate the fact that they were white and they made everything look, your eyelashes look ashy. Now, we don't want ashy looking eyelashes. That's a definite no-no. So it's taken this long for the people that make one of the companies that makes my makeup to get me the formula where it dries clear. So you can use it with any mascara, and that helps as well. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the lash primer. It makes such a difference. I actually have to be careful that I don't put too much on because I go against my glasses and I can't open and close my eyes, and that's never happened before. It's like, whoa, this is like weird. So I have to dial it back.
Wish list. I will definitely be purchasing one of those. Now we've got time for one more quick question. I'm really sorry, Aaron, you're going to have to put your specs on because something's popped over my bit, which tells me how much longer we've got. So I can't see any. But a really quick question from Michaela, who says she struggles with the lining of the outer corners of her lips. Is there a trick so she doesn't look like the Joker? Okay, so that's a brilliant question, Michaela. And it's the way you put on your lip liner, Sarah. You do your lip liner, so that prevents it. So the way Sarah does it is she takes the lip liner and starts here and brings it up instead of bringing it down, because when you bring it down, I'm going to do this so I'll look horrible for a second. So I'm going to do it. I'm using a bright red so that you see it contrasting to what I'm doing.
You see how it goes down here?
Yeah.
And because it goes down, it looks like it goes up. It goes down, but it goes up. When you're doing it, you do it this way. It's not going to happen. So if that is something that happens to you, always go up instead of going down, because that is going to do the.
And also when you start from the outside going in, you start further in naturally. So your hand doesn't overrun. You actually, I don't have the coordination capacity to start here. I have to start slightly further in, which again, I think makes your lips look slightly plumper, doesn't it?
It does.
Gap at the end.
It does. And that's the same premise that I use when I'm doing the eyeliner. So if you bring your eyeliner and follow it down, everything is going down like this, and this is going to Joker's mouth. You are going to look really not great. I mean, it's not going to be your best look going forward. So what you want to do is you want to bring it along here, stop just before your eyelashes end so that you don't get that droop. And here you're going to go up like that, because that way you're not going to get that kind of funny jokery mouth.
Have we run out of time? Because I can't see.
I don't want them to suddenly cut us off. So
no, I think we've got one more from Michaela, but I'll get her to message you. It's just one about her eyebrows.
Okay.
I'll get her to message you, because I think we're going to run out of time.
Yeah, if it suddenly shuts down, we don't want that to happen. I've had that happen on Instagram. No. That's bad news. Anyway,
can I just say thank you? Oh, we're saying thank you to each other. Thank you, Ariane. Thank you so much. We really, 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 I can't tell you how much we value your tips, and how actually, I mean, they just, I know personally, they have transformed the way that I do my makeup.
Oh,
and we have lots of feedback saying the same thing. So thank you for yet again joining us and helping us to look a better us.
Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome. I love doing what I do, and I'm so happy to share all the information. Really, thank you so much. I shall see you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this.
Take care. Thank you, Ariane. Bye-bye.